Australia is one of the most extreme and unpredictable places on the planet. Isolated for millions of years, this continent has developed a unique nature where survival depends on precise adaptations and where each animal carries characteristics shaped by an unforgiving environment. Intense heat, prolonged droughts, natural fires, dense forests, and violent coastal areas have created a scenario where life thrives under constant risk. This documentary delves into the wild Australia to reveal how some of the country's most iconic animals face one of the most lethal natures on Earth. Here, nothing is simple. The Australian territory is home to silent predators, territorial species, and animals that have developed extreme strategies to survive. The landscape changes rapidly, alternating between arid deserts, tropical forests, open plains, and coastal areas teeming with life. Each environment imposes specific challenges, and only the most adapted can resist. Throughout this journey, we will meet animals that have become symbols of this constant struggle between life and danger. Between the open fields and Australian savannas, the kangaroo dominates the territory with strength, speed, and endurance. Their long jumps and powerful hind legs are not only a form of locomotion, but also an effective defense against threats. In eucalyptus forests, the koala seems to live in tranquility, but its survival depends on a highly specialized diet and a delicate balance with the environment, making it extremely vulnerable to climate change and fires. Further south on the island of Tasmania, one of the continent's most intense creatures emerges, the Tasmanian devil. Small in size but ferocious in behavior, it is an essential predator and scavenger for ecological balance. Known for its strength, aggressive vocalizations, and ability to take on larger adversaries. In the tropical forests of the north, the cassowary walks like a prehistoric relic. With an imposing appearance and territorial behavior, it is considered one of the most dangerous birds in the world, capable of defending itself with extreme violence when threatened. And along the coasts and estuaries, the Australian pelican dominates the aquatic environment with its impressive wingspan and one of nature's most efficient beaks. Adapted to fishing in open and shallow waters, it reveals how even coastal birds need precision and endurance to survive in this challenging territory. Throughout this documentary, you will discover how these animals face predators, scarcity of resources, extreme weather changes, and the constant presence of danger. Each species featured here reveals a different aspect of wild Australia, a place where nature offers no compromise and where survival requires strength, intelligence, and constant adaptation. Get ready to explore a continent where life has been shaped by risk, where every move can be decisive, and where nature shows its most brutal and fascinating side. This is wild Australia, a land of deadly predators and extreme challenges, where only the most prepared can exist. The kangaroo is one of Australia's most iconic animals and a true symbol of adaptation to life in extreme environments. Present mainly in the open plains, savannas, and semi-arid regions of the continent, it faces a territory marked by intense heat, water scarcity, and long distances between food areas. To survive in this unforgiving scenario, the kangaroo has developed a set of physical and behavioral skills that make it one of the most efficient mammals in the Australian wild. Its way of locomotion is one of the most impressive adaptations. Using long, powerful jumps, the kangaroo can travel great distances using less energy than if it walked. The extremely muscular hind legs act as natural springs, while the long, sturdy tail acts as an essential counterbalance to maintain balance. This combination allows the animal to reach high speeds, evading predators and exploring vast areas in search of food. In addition to speed, the kangaroo has significant defensive strength. When threatened, it can use its hind legs to deliver powerful blows, capable of seriously injuring a predator. In extreme situations, it also uses its tail as a support to stand up and fight, demonstrating that it is not just a passive herbivore, but an animal prepared to face danger when necessary. This defense capability is crucial in an environment where predators and threats are constant. The kangaroo's diet is mainly based on grasses and drought-resistant plants. Its digestive system is highly efficient, allowing it to extract the maximum amount of nutrients from poor and fibrous vegetation. In addition, the kangaroo has the ability to conserve water in an extraordinary way, managing to survive long periods without drinking. It adjusts its activity to the cooler times of the day, avoiding extreme heat and reducing fluid loss, an essential strategy for living in arid regions. Socially, kangaroos live in groups known as mobs, which offer collective protection from predators. Within these groups, there are well-defined hierarchies, especially among males, who dispute territory and access to females. These disputes can be intense, involving pushing, kicking, and displays of force, but rarely result in deaths. Social organization increases the chances of survival, allowing constant surveillance and rapid response to threats. Kangaroo reproduction is also marked by unique adaptations. Females have the ability to pause embryo development in periods of scarcity, resuming pregnancy when environmental conditions improve. This mechanism ensures that the puppies are born at more favorable times, increasing the chances of survival in an unpredictable environment. The early development of the chick inside the pouch is another example of adaptive protection against extreme weather and predators. Despite its resistance, the kangaroo faces modern challenges. Urban sprawl, habitat fragmentation, and climate change affect their natural routes and food sources. Increasingly intense wildfires also pose a growing threat. Living with human activities requires additional adaptations, not always sufficient to ensure the safety of the species. The kangaroo represents the essence of wild Australia: strength, endurance, and adaptation in the midst of constant danger. Not only does it survive in one of the most lethal environments on the planet, but it thrives, turning extreme challenges into evolutionary advantages. Watching a kangaroo cross the Australian plains is to witness the daily struggle for survival in its purest form, a living demonstration of how nature shapes its inhabitants to stand up to the relentless. At first glance, the koala seems to represent the quieter side of wild Australia. With slow movements, a serene expression, and long periods of rest, he contrasts with the image of a continent marked by deadly predators and hostile environments. However, behind this peaceful appearance, there is an extremely specialized animal whose survival depends on a delicate balance with the Australian nature. The koala is a clear example of how extreme adaptation can be both a strength and a vulnerability. The koala's habitat is directly linked to eucalyptus forests, trees that provide virtually all of its food. Eucalyptus leaves are low in nutrients and contain toxins that would be lethal to most animals. The koala, however, has developed a highly specialized digestive system capable of neutralizing these substances and extracting as much energy as possible. This process is slow and requires long hours of digestion, which explains why the koala spends most of the day sleeping, conserving energy in an environment where food is difficult to process. Life in the treetops offers protection from many predators, but it also poses challenges. The koala needs to move carefully between branches, maintaining balance and strength to go up and down great heights. Its sharp claws and strong limbs allow it to firmly grasp the trunk of trees, even during intense winds or rains. This adaptation is essential to survive in forests subject to sudden climate change and frequent fires. Despite its seemingly solitary behavior, the koala has a complex social structure based on territories. Males use deep, powerful vocalizations to make their presence felt and ward off rivals, sounds that echo through the forest at night. These vocalizations are critical for reproduction and to avoid physical confrontations, which could result in serious injury. A koala's territory is directly linked to the availability of suitable trees, making it highly sensitive to habitat loss. Fire is one of the biggest challenges facing koalas. Forest fires, increasingly intense and frequent, destroy vast areas of eucalyptus, eliminating both shelter and food. During these events, koalas have little ability to escape quickly, making them extremely vulnerable. Even after the fires, habitat recovery is slow, making it difficult to survive in the long term. Water scarcity, aggravated by prolonged droughts, also directly impacts the health of these animals. Koala reproduction follows a careful rhythm in line with environmental conditions. Females give birth to extremely small and immature cubs, which remain in the pouch for several months. During this time, the chick is completely dependent on its mother, gradually learning to digest eucalyptus leaves and adapt to tree life. This slow process ensures that the young koala is prepared to face the challenges of the environment before becoming independent. Despite its popular and charismatic image, the koala faces serious threats. The destruction of forests, global warming, and increased human activities put their survival at risk. It has become a symbol of the fragility of Australian ecosystems, reminding us that even the most iconic species can disappear if the natural balance is disrupted. The koala represents a paradox of wild Australia, delicate in appearance, but the result of extreme adaptation. Their existence depends on a stable environment, and their struggle for survival reflects the challenges faced by nature on a continent where life has always been on the brink. Observing a koala in its natural habitat is to understand that, in Australia, even tranquility requires endurance. The Tasmanian devil is one of the most intense and enigmatic creatures in the Australian fauna. Restricted to the island of Tasmania, this small carnivorous marsupial carries a fierce reputation that contrasts with its relatively small size. In an environment marked by dense forests, mountainous areas, and cold nights, the Tasmanian devil occupies an essential role as a predator and scavenger, maintaining ecological balance in one of the most isolated ecosystems on the planet. Despite measuring just over half a meter in length, the Tasmanian devil has impressive strength. Its jaw is considered to be one of the most powerful in proportion to body size among all mammals. With sharp teeth and a bite capable of grinding bones, it consumes practically everything from a carcass, including skin, cartilage, and organs. This feed efficiency is crucial in an environment where prey availability can be spotty. The Tasmanian devil's behavior is predominantly nocturnal. During the night, it travels long distances in search of food, using an extremely keen sense of smell to locate prey or carcasses. Its heightened senses compensate for limited vision, allowing it to move safely in dark and complex environments. When finding food, the devil often emits loud and aggressive vocalizations, a behavior that serves both to intimidate competitors and to avoid direct physical confrontations. Although it is known for its aggressiveness, the Tasmanian devil rarely hunts large prey alone. It feeds mainly on small animals, birds, and remains left by other predators. This role of cleaner of nature is essential to prevent the spread of diseases and keep the ecosystem healthy. Without the presence of the devil, carcasses would remain in the environment for longer, altering the natural balance. The reproduction of the Tasmanian devil is marked by intense competition. Females have only 4 breasts, which means that only the strongest offspring survive after birth. This extreme natural selection ensures that only the fittest individuals follow through, a necessary adaptation in an environment where resources are limited. Puppies that manage to attach themselves to their breasts remain in the pouch for months, growing rapidly before facing the outside world. In recent decades, the Tasmanian devil has faced a devastating threat, a transmissible facial disease that has decimated much of the population. This disease, rare among mammals, spreads through bites during disputes over food or territory. The impact was profound, putting the species at risk of extinction. Conservation efforts, controlled breeding programs, and close monitoring have been essential to prevent total population collapse. In addition to disease, habitat fragmentation and human interference also pose ongoing challenges. Roads, agricultural activities, and urban sprawl increase the risk of roadkill and reduce natural areas essential to the survival of the Tasmanian devil. Still, the species demonstrates a remarkable capacity for resistance, adapting to change and persisting in an increasingly pressured environment. The Tasmanian devil embodies the more brutal side of wild Australia. He shows that survival is not always silent or graceful, but often marked by confrontations, competition, and constant fighting. Observing this animal in its natural habitat is to understand the importance of each predator, no matter how small, in maintaining the balance of nature. The Tasmanian devil is not only a symbol of ferocity, but a vital cog in the complex machinery of Australian wildlife. Among the rainforests of northern Australia, where the vegetation is dense, humid, and seemingly tranquil, lives one of the most dangerous birds on the planet, The cassowary is a living relic of the age of dinosaurs, both in appearance and behavior. Tall, heavy, and extremely territorial, he dominates the environment with a quiet, intimidating presence. In wild Australia, the cassowary does not run away from danger. It faces it. With more than 1.5 meters in height and a robust body, the cassowary is unable to fly, but compensates for this limitation with surprising physical strength and speed. Its legs are muscular and end in sharp claws, including a long, curved central claw, capable of causing serious injury. In threatening situations, the cassowary can attack with quick and precise kicks, making it one of the most dangerous animals for humans and predators that invade its territory. Despite its aggressive fame, cassowary plays an essential ecological role. It is one of the main seed dispersers in the Australian rainforest. Feeding on a wide variety of fruits, the cassowary travels long distances and spreads intact seeds through its feces, contributing directly to the regeneration of the forest. Some plant species depend almost exclusively on cassowary to reproduce, which makes it a key piece in the balance of the ecosystem. The behavior of the cassowary is highly territorial. He prefers to avoid confrontation by remaining hidden in dense vegetation, but reacts in an extreme way when he feels threatened or cornered. During the reproductive season, this aggressiveness intensifies. Interestingly, after laying the eggs, it is the male who takes responsibility for incubating them and caring for the chicks. For months, he remains vigilant, protecting the eggs and guiding the young through the forest, teaching them how to find food and recognize dangers. The cassowary's adaptation to the tropical environment is evident in every detail of its body. The bony helmet on top of the head, known as casso, helps protect the skull as it traverses enclosed vegetation and can aid in sound communication by amplifying low-frequency sounds. Its vibrant blue and red neck functions as a visual cue and plays an important role in social and reproductive interactions. Despite its strength and ecological importance, the cassowary faces serious threats. The destruction of tropical forests, urban sprawl, and roadkills fragment their habitat and reduce their areas of circulation. In addition, the loss of fruit plants compromises their diet and their function as seed dispersers. The conservation of cassowary is directly linked to the preservation of the tropical forests of northern Australia. To observe a cassowary walking slowly among the shadows of the forest is to witness nature in its most primitive state. It not only represents danger, but also balance. Its existence connects the present to a distant past, reminding us that Australian wildlife is shaped by ancient and relentless forces. The cassowary is living proof that, in Australia, even birds bear the mark of lethality and extreme survival. The Australian pelican is one of the most emblematic and imposing birds on the continent. Present in rivers, lakes, estuaries, and coastal areas, it immediately stands out for its size, and above all for its gigantic beak, considered one of the largest in the animal kingdom. In a country where wildlife is often associated with extreme dangers, the pelican represents a different kind of realm, that of patience, strategy, and efficiency. Its beak is not only a striking visual feature, but a highly specialized survival tool. The large elastic bag located under the beak works as a real living net, capable of catching large quantities of fish in a single movement. When diving, the pelican collects water and prey at the same time, draining excess liquid before swallowing the food. This method allows him to make the most of every hunting opportunity, reducing energy expenditure in environments where fish availability can vary. Unlike many solitary predators, the Australian pelican demonstrates complex social behavior during feeding. On several occasions, entire groups cooperate to corral shoals, swimming side by side and flapping their wings in the water to direct fish to shallow areas. This collective hunting significantly increases the success of the group and reveals an advanced level of coordination among the birds, something rare to observe in aquatic environments. Despite its heavy appearance and apparently slow flight, the pelican is an excellent glider. Using air currents, it can travel long distances with little effort, moving between different bodies of water in search of food. This ability to adapt allows the species to survive both in coastal regions and in the interior of the continent, including in semi-arid areas where temporary lakes appear after periods of rain. The reproduction of the Australian pelican is closely linked to environmental conditions. In years of plenty, large colonies form on isolated islands or shores, where hundreds of nests can be built close to each other. The chicks are born vulnerable and are totally dependent on their parents, who regurgitate the food directly into their beaks. This intense parental care is essential to ensure survival in an environment where predators and climate change pose constant threats. Even though it is an efficient predator, the Australian pelican is not immune to human impacts. Water pollution, the reduction of fish, and the presence of plastic waste directly affect their food and health. In addition, discarded fishing nets and lines pose serious risks, potentially causing injury or death. These challenges show that even well-adapted species face limits in the face of human interference. The Australian pelican symbolizes a less violent but equally ruthless side of wild Australia. It proves that survival does not depend only on brute force or aggressiveness, but also on intelligence, cooperation, and adaptation. In silence, gliding between sky and water, the pelican maintains the balance of aquatic ecosystems and reinforces the complexity of life in one of the most extreme environments on the planet. Wild Australia reveals one of the most extreme and fascinating natural settings on the planet. Throughout this documentary, we have seen that every landscape, from the scorching desert to the dense forests, from the silent rivers to the open coasts, is home to creatures shaped by millions of years of adaptation. Nothing here is excessive by chance. Every trait, every behavior, and every survival strategy exists because the environment demands it. Australian nature does not forgive mistakes, and only the most prepared resist. The kangaroo, the symbol of the country, represents resistance in arid lands, where saving energy is as important as advancing. The seemingly fragile koala survives thanks to extreme specialization, turning toxic leaves into sustenance. The Tasmanian devil shows us the most brutal and necessary side of the food chain, reminding us that even death plays a fundamental role in the ecological balance. The cassowary, silent and imposing, proves that the real threat does not always make noise before attacking. And the Australian pelican ends this journey by demonstrating that intelligence, cooperation, and precision can be as lethal as claws or fangs. These animals are not just isolated species. They are part of a delicately balanced system, where the absence of a single link can trigger irreversible consequences. Australia is a living laboratory of evolution, a place where life has reinvented itself time and time again to survive isolation, unpredictable weather, and resource scarcity. Preserving this natural heritage is not only an environmental issue, but a commitment to the very history of life on Earth. By observing these animals in their habitats, we understand that nature is neither cruel nor kind. It is fair. It rewards adaptation, punishes frailty, and runs its course regardless of human presence. It is up to us to decide whether we will just be spectators of this spectacle or whether we will take responsibility for protecting what is still left. If you've made it this far, you're part of a group that values knowledge, wildlife, and the stories that nature has to tell. Subscribe to the channel to continue exploring the most extreme and stunning corners of the planet. Leave your like to support this type of content and help the documentary reach more people. And in the comments, tell us where you're watching from and which of these animals impressed you the most. Your participation makes all the difference so that these stories continue to be told.